Good day to all, and welcome to the Top Prime Rankings channel. Today we're embarking on a time machine ride back to the early 20th century to explore the rise of fascism in Mussolini's Italy. Our journey will take us through the aftermath of World War I, the formation of the Fascist Party, Mussolini's ascent to power, and the implementation of his ideology. So without further ado, let's dive into the intriguing world of fascism in Mussolini's Italy. To understand the rise of fascism, we must first look to the aftermath of World War I. Picture Italy post World War I. The nation is reeling, grappling with political and economic instability. The Great War had drained Italy's resources, leaving the economy in shambles. Food shortages and unemployment were rampant, leading to widespread discontent among the populace. The ruling class was not spared from this discontent. They were seen as ineffective, unable to steer the country out of its economic woes. The public's faith in their ability to govern was dwindling, replaced by a growing resentment. The ruling class was viewed as detached, more interested in their own wealth and power than in the welfare of the people they were supposed to serve. This discontent was not limited to the lower classes. The middle class too was growing increasingly dissatisfied, their dreams of upward mobility shattered by a stagnant economy. But it was not just the economy that was causing unrest. The political landscape was equally tumultuous. The socialists were gaining ground, and the fear of a socialist revolution was palpable. This fear was not unfounded. In Russia, the Bolsheviks had already seized power, and the possibility of a similar uprising in Italy was very real. In the midst of this chaos, a new political force was beginning to emerge. This force, fueled by the dissatisfaction and resentment of the public, promised change. It promised to restore Italy to its former glory, to bring stability and prosperity. This force was fascism. But fascism didn't rise in a vacuum. It was a response to the conditions of the time, a manifestation of the public's desire for change. The seeds of fascism were sown in the aftermath of World War I, in the discontent and resentment of the Italian people. This dissatisfaction and resentment set the stage for a new political force to emerge. Enter Benito Mussolini, a charismatic and ambitious figure ready to capitalize on Italy's discontent. Let's take a step back to the early 20th century. Benito Mussolini, born in a small Italian town, was a blacksmith's son with big dreams. He was a keen student of politics, and his views gradually shifted from socialism to a new political philosophy, one that he would eventually call fascism. In 1921, Mussolini founded the National Fascist Party. It was a political movement like no other. It promised to restore Italy's pride, to bring back the glory days of the Roman Empire, and to make Italy a world power once again. Mussolini, with his captivating speeches and charismatic persona, attracted a huge following. He tapped into the Italian people's discontent and frustration, promising them a future of strength, prosperity, and respect on the world stage. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly was this fascist party all about? Well, at its core, fascism was a rejection of both socialism and liberal democracy. It emphasized the importance of the nation or the race over the individual. It advocated for a centralized autocratic government led by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. Mussolini's fascist party promised to return Italy to its former greatness. It pledged to solve the country's economic problems, end political corruption, and eliminate the perceived threat of communism. The party's aggressive nationalism, combined with its disdain for democracy and its advocacy for violence as a means of achieving political objectives, made it a potent force in a country that was desperate for change. Mussolini's promises resonated with many, leading to the fascist party's growing influence. He brilliantly exploited the fears and hopes of the Italian people, promising them a future of greatness under his leadership. In the coming years, these promises would lead to a dramatic shift in Italy's political landscape, a shift that would have far-reaching consequences not only for Italy, but for the entire world. Mussolini's promises resonated with many, leading to the fascist party's growing influence. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to Top Prime Rankings channel. The March on Rome in 1922 was a crucial turning point in Mussolini's rise to power. This event, my friends, was not just a leisurely stroll in the Italian capital. No, it was a calculated political maneuver by Benito Mussolini and his fascist party. Picture this, a swarm of nearly 30,000 black shirts, Mussolini's paramilitary forces, marching towards Rome. Their mission? To demand the resignation of the current government and the appointment of Mussolini as Prime Minister. As they say, if you want something done right, sometimes you've got to do it yourself. Now you might be thinking, how on earth did they pull that off? Well, Mussolini was a master of manipulation. He knew how to use the public's fear and discontent to his advantage. The country was in turmoil, grappling with economic woes and political instability. Mussolini promised stability, strength and national pride, a narrative that resonated with many Italians yearning for a better future. King Victor Emmanuel III had a choice to make. He could either resist the marchers, potentially sparking a civil war, or he could acquiesce to their demands. Choosing the path of least resistance, the king invited Mussolini to form a government. On October 31st, 1922, Mussolini stepped into the role of Prime Minister of Italy, a position he would hold for over 2 decades. But Mussolini wasn't content with just being Prime Minister. He wanted total control, and he knew exactly how to get it. Once in power, he systematically dismantled Italy's democratic institutions, replacing them with fascist ones. He suppressed opposition, controlled the media, and manipulated the education system to promote his ideology. In a nutshell, Mussolini created a totalitarian state with him at its helm. Mussolini now had the power and the platform to implement his fascist ideology. His rise to power serves as a stark reminder of the lengths to which individuals will go to seize and maintain control, and the dangerous allure of strongman politics in times of crisis. Opening with Mussolini at the helm, fascism began to permeate every aspect of Italian life. Picture this, a leader, larger than life, whose image is everywhere. Mussolini's regime was marked by a distinct cult of personality. This wasn't just about politics, it was about creating a mythical figure. Mussolini was portrayed as a superhuman, a demigod of sorts, who could single-handedly steer Italy towards greatness. This cult of personality was more than mere symbolism. It was a weapon, a tool to suppress opposition. Mussolini's regime wasn't too fond of differing opinions. Any whiff of dissent was stamped out. Political opponents were either exiled or imprisoned, freedom of the press was curtailed, and censorship became the order of the day. But suppression alone does not a fascist state make. A key part of Mussolini's strategy was the promotion of fascist values. The fascist idea of the new man was propagated, one who was disciplined, physically strong, nationalist, and above all, loyal to the state. Fascist youth organizations like the Opera Nazionale Balilla were created to instill these values in the younger generation. The fascist regime also sought to control the economic life of Italy. Mussolini's corporate state aimed at achieving economic self-sufficiency, or autarky, and reducing class conflict by creating a harmonious relationship between workers and employers. However, the reality was far from the ideal. The state-controlled economy led to inefficiencies and corruption, and the gap between the rich and the poor only widened. The regime also used propaganda to foster a sense of national unity and pride. The grandeur of ancient Rome was invoked to inspire the Italian populace. The regime's message was clear. Italy, under the leadership of Mussolini, was destined to return to its past glory and take its rightful place in the world. Closing. Under Mussolini, Italy had become a fascist state. And the impact of this transformation was felt in every corner of Italian society, shaping the nation's history in profound and lasting ways. The rise of fascism in Mussolini's Italy is a complex and fascinating chapter of history. Indeed, it's a chapter filled with tales of power struggles, ideological shifts, and societal transformations. A chapter that, despite its dark shadows, still manages to be intriguing, like a thriller novel that you just can't seem to put down. We journeyed through the aftermath of World War I, a period of immense struggle and desperation, which set the stage for the emergence of the fascist party. We saw how Mussolini, a charismatic yet ruthless leader, leveraged the prevailing discontent to form a party that promised stability and order. Then we witnessed the March on Rome, a strategic power play that catapulted Mussolini from being just a party leader to becoming the Prime Minister of Italy. His rise to power was meteoric and his impact profound. We delved into the implementation of the fascist ideology, a system that sought to control every aspect of Italian life, from politics and economy to culture and education. The fascist regime's iron grip on Italy was unyielding and pervasive, transforming the nation in ways that are still felt today. Understanding this period in history is crucial. It reminds us of the power of ideologies, the allure of charismatic leaders, and the potential dangers of unchecked power. It's a lesson about the thin line between order and oppression, between unity and uniformity. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to Top Prime Rankings channel.